Poly Se Souvient is a gun control advocacy group that has within its memberships survivors of the attack that took the lives of 14 young women at the École Polytechnique in Montreal. Now, that horrific event is remembered each December the 6th, but this year, one notable Canadian has been told he will not be welcomed at commemoration events. And that Canadian is the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, singled out by the group for amending the definition of assault-style weapons in the government's gun bill and for failing, says the group, to fulfill his promise for a comprehensive gun ban in this country. Take a listen to how the Prime Minister responded.
Canadians have a clear choice in the next election between a party that has done significant things to strengthen gun control and will continue to do more, and a party that wants to form government that wants to weaken gun control. That's what it comes down to.
Well, for more, we're now joined by Heidi Rathjen, coordinator with Poly Se Souvient. Ms. Rathjen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, as you heard, the Prime Minister still believes that his party, his government, is making big moves to strengthen gun control measures in this country. Does he deserve any support for sympathizing with your goals, even if it's not everything that you wanted?
Well, it's true that Bill C-21 does contain some important measures, and we're hoping they're going to be strengthened because there are some flaws within those measures. But our focus for the past 33 years has been to ban assault weapons. That has been our number one request from the beginning. In the days following the massacre, we started to petition specifically to ban assault weapons. And so we've been fighting this fight for 33 years, and it should have been won a long time ago. And it shouldn't be so difficult, especially with, we have three parties in the House of Commons. All three have promised to ban assault weapons, at least in the last two elections. And the Liberals and the Bloc have promised to do it in the last three elections. So if we don't get it now, it will be the end of our fight. 33 years, I mean, a lot of the parents of the victims are no longer with us. And unfortunately, for political reasons, they were not able to deliver so far.
Now, one of your criticisms has to do with the timeline of this bill, in that the assault-style weapons which would be banned are weapons that would come to the marketplace after Bill C-21 actually becomes law. Now, the Public Safety Minister, Marco Mendicino, he was asked about that, but he points out that the 2020 ban on about 1,500 firearms, a ban brought on by this government, still remains. So before or after the passage of C-21, the government is still, he argues, limiting the number of guns available to Canadians. What do you say to that?
Well, it's true that we have a list of banned weapons. So those were the 2020 orders in council that banned about, in total, about 1,900 models. The problem since then, we've been saying for 3 years, is that list is not complete. So as long as there's assault weapons that are still out there, many even most non-restricted, so very, you just need a basic possession and acquisition license, like for hunting guns, then they could be purchased by potential mass shooters and used in mass shootings. Our position has always been, for this measure to be effective, that we need a total ban. So the idea, what we've been fighting for 3 years now since the 2020 OIC, is to complete the ban to include all current assault weapons, and also to make it easier to prevent new assault weapons from coming on the market. Now, on both these levels, the government has failed. They're not touching and that's what, when they applied the definition to the current market, they captured about 482 models that were deemed assault weapons. So those will remain legal and even non-restricted, and meaning tens of thousands of assault weapons in private hands. And secondly, the definition that they chose, conceived with, so it's based on the designer or the mindset of the designer, is very easy to circumvent, because who controls what's in the mindset of the designer? It's manufacturers.
But as you know, the government did try to bring about a more comprehensive list, and that was last year, and it essentially stopped Bill C-21 from going forward. Is it not better to have something instead of nothing?
It is in terms of different measures, and that's why we're probably going to keep supporting C-21, because it has some measures that in and of themselves are good. But the ban on assault weapons, we don't have a ban on assault weapons. And like, if you just look at the buyback program, which is going to be very expensive, it has to be comprehensive. Otherwise, what's the point? If you don't ban all weapons on the market, all assault weapons, then owners of those that are going to be compensated for their current ones, those that are part of the 1,900 that were banned in 2020, all they have to do is take the money, turn around and buy another assault weapon. So what's the point of doing that? We need a comprehensive ban on assault weapons. That's what most Canadians want. They've been wanting it consistently for decades. And now we have three parties that each promised to ban assault weapons. And I have to say, our take is that the Liberal government is insisting on maintaining their agreement with the NDP within a minority government, and the NDP is refusing to budge any further with respect to the measure, and so sticking to what's on the table now, which is clearly insufficient and ineffective. And it's a tragedy. I mean, this is the end of the fight of the families of the victims of the worst mass shooting at the time, the Polytechnic shooting. And it's in terms of our number one demand, we're ending in defeat. And we're going to continue to have, Canada's going to be a country that continues to allow assault weapons on the market.
So you will still support C-21, but you do not want to see the Prime Minister at the next commemoration ceremony?
Well, I mean, there's about 40 members of the family signed a letter to Trudeau in 2021 when he reversed when he broke his promise on the mandatory buyback. And what happened on Monday, what's tabled, is basically it makes the buyback very ineffective, and he hasn't delivered on his promise to ban assault weapons in Canada, current ones and future ones. And so, the families, I mean, we don't, how can I say, we don't do politics, we don't play games. If Trudeau comes to the commemorations and tells everybody and looks us in the eye and say he's going to ban assault weapons, and we believe him and we support him, then, we need to be consistent. And so that's why Nathalie Provost, who was injured by 4 bullets at Polytechnic, has reiterated what was in the initial letter.
Heidi Rathjen, thank you so much for the time tonight.
Thanks for having me.